Welcome back, and this time we're going to jump into the top 40 after last week talking about the guys that just missed. Tyler, we're going to start with you. You had Blake Robbins, junior college mid-year transfer, a defensive end coming into the program, who really didn't participate a lot this spring because of an ankle and knee injury. Even during his sophomore year at Georgia Military Academy, he had a hand injury that kept him sidelined. So talk to me. What made him stand out as a top 40 guy to you?
To me, it was really just his film coming out of college. He's a guy that I was much higher on than I think a lot of the other people were on the board. I think he's a really versatile guy, had a lot of power, someone that I really expect to make a pretty big impact on the defensive line right away. I mean, it was a little disappointing, definitely, that he didn't get to do much this spring. So it's a little bit of a leap of faith from me on this pick. I just wanted to have somebody in there that I was high on coming in, and I know I've been high on him all along, so I didn't want to backtrack just because he missed camp. But it'll be interesting to see what he does once he gets healthy.
He does have a pretty long 6'5" wingspan. He can kind of lay out and maybe block down some passes this year. At number 39, Jaleel Weenie. This was a pick by the fans. I wish we could get them to comment on this. I think a lot of it might have to do with the fact that Alex Kelly on social media was kind of praising what Jaleel Weenie did this spring, moving over from being a walk-on transfer quarterback to being, part of that linebacking group. For me, I didn't have him in my top 40 just because he's still kind of relatively new to that position. And also, there's guys that are more established in the kind of that outside linebacker rush end role, guys like Derek McCartney, Deshawn Wilson. There's probably about 5 or 6 guys you could name that have a little bit more experience and maybe have a jump ahead of him. But with his athleticism, I think that's definitely intriguing.
Yeah, he's definitely an athletic guy, and I think the fans definitely did run with the quote from Alex Kelly a little bit. They like the story, right? I mean, he's a transfer from Air Force. He's switching positions. It's something that everybody wants to see him be successful and kind of turn his football career around a little bit, get back to being the great player that he was at Air Force. Obviously on the different side of the ball, but to me, I think with the transition, I don't expect him to play much this year. Maybe down the line a little bit more, he can get some more playing time and might sneak into the top 40. But he wasn't really a guy I considered in the top 40 this year.
Another guy, too, NJ Follow coming in at outside linebacker that I'm really going to be intrigued with to watch during camp. At number 38 is Deshawn Rippy. He was actually one of 32 guys on this list that got votes from everybody. He got a vote from me, Tyler, and the fans. For me, he just barely made the list, though, and this is because he still needs to prove the consistency element of it. He had a pretty good spring. He flashed more than he had in the past, but still, I want to see a little bit more of that. What really kind of got him on the list for me was kind of a depth issue at inside linebacker, especially when you talk about Addison Gillum and health concerns there. Kenneth Oluwabadu being a pretty frail inside linebacker. Can he hold up for an entire 13-game schedule without a bye week? I don't know about that. So I think Deshawn Rippy is going to get to play this year, whether he's ready or not.
Yeah, that's the same thing for me. I think it's a depth issue at the linebacker position right now. He's a guy who, in previous camps, everybody really wanted to be somebody that was playing well, but he just wasn't. But this year, he really did impress me quite a bit. He's definitely making strides, and I think he really likes the fact that Jim Leavitt's in here and they have a new defensive staff. He kind of feels like he has a fresh start. To me, with our linebackers are frail, and to me, there's just, at some point in the season, he's going to see minutes. So to me, it was warranted that he made this list for me, and I think he has a chance to really prove himself this year and get some playing time.
At number 37 is Deshawn Wilson. Tyler, you didn't have him on your list. I had him pretty high on my list. The fans had him on theirs as well. Maybe partly the spring game, having a couple sacks there. But he's kind of a fringe guy. I feel like he's really close to taking that next step as a player. I think he's going to be in the rotation there as kind of a pass rusher off the edge. Again, in a perfect world, a guy like Deshawn Wilson maybe isn't in your top 40 if you have really established depth as a program. But I also think that he's somebody that has shown flashes in the past and could warrant that ranking.
Yeah, he's a guy, he just missed for me. He was the first person off my list. To me, he's definitely gotten in better shape the last few years. He's definitely made strides. He's an upperclassman, a guy that some of the younger guys on the defensive line are going to look to for leadership. So I think he's definitely going to make an impact. He just missed the list for me.
All right, well, that's the first group of our top 40 countdown. Tune in next time for the next 3.